Hi, Crystal Marcalis, Ag and Natural Resources under Good Samaritan. In medical emergencies, there's often a lot of reluctancy as to what to do. Students especially can be reluctant in emergencies involving drugs and alcohol, out of fear of facing university sanctions for especially possession of drugs or consumption of drugs. In these overdose situations, they could be potentially life-threatening, and there should be absolutely no barrier preventing students from seeking medical assistance when necessary. Over 50 other schools across the country, including the University of Iowa, where President Lowe was former before joining us, have similar Good Samaritan policies in place, since drug overdoses are the second leading cause of unintentional injury deaths in America, trailing only car accident deaths. Studies have found that students are 2.5 times more likely to call for help if they are aware of a medical amnesty policy being in place. So I ask you to please vote in favor of this policy expansion. It is a means of prevention, but students are adults. This is by no means condoning drug usage, but adult people make their own decisions. And when they do, if they choose to use drugs on campus, this policy needs to already be in place, so there is at least no hesitation to seek help in a medical emergency should one arise. We should not have to wait for another single overdose to occur on our campus before we remember why we need this policy implemented in the first place. So my final thought for you is, if it were your child overdosing on drugs or alcohol, would you want there to be absolutely anything preventing them or someone else calling for medical help if it could save their life? And I'd like to introduce Brandon Levy, who wrote this proposal over a year ago, former RRT senator.
Hi, I'll be really quick because I think most people in here have gotten an email from me or from me if it didn't go to your spam folder. I just, real fast, want to say this has been a really long process. The proposal is literally 6 years in the making, since 2007. It's taught me a lot of how much work, time, and energy go into something like this. And I just wanted to briefly thank a few people and a few organizations on campus, without whom we wouldn't have been at this point. I wanted to thank the SCC under Dr. Ratner and now under Mr. Speck for the really incredible amount of time that they put into this. And taking a serious look at the policy change. I wanted to thank the SEC, our acronyms, and Senate leadership as well. I wanted to thank the SGA for mobilizing students, being such a good ally on this. And lastly, I wanted to thank our Students for Sensible Drug Policy chapter. Throughout the years, this was first proposed by Stacia Cosner in 2007. She's sitting back there. And without SSDP's continued involvement, we wouldn't be where we are today. And the last point I wanted to make was, if the Senate makes the right decision and we vote for the expansion, we vote to save lives today, I just wanted to stress how important educating students about this policy is. Good Samaritan policy is only effective if students are aware about it. We've done a great job educating students about our alcohol-only policy, and I hope that continues, and thank you very much.
Thank you. 5 seconds.